What's up, party people? Welcome to New Year's edition of Stoniecast number 86, Season 3, Episode 19 of Thoughts and Hunches Making Money in Bunches and Sucker Punches. Your boy Stony is back for the 86th time, and I'd like to welcome my fellow hoodlums, cheats, lowlifes, hustlers, scumbags, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, foul-mouthed and abusive language having raging alcoholics, fienders, degenerates, and Italians. I mean, let's face it, if you're Italian, you check all the boxes. If you're new to the show, hey, you probably fit into one of those categories, so welcome. And make sure to hit the subscribe button down here in the lower right-hand corner so you can be notified every time I put out a new video. It's usually on Friday evening unless otherwise noted, like tonight, because of all the bowl games. Next week, we'll be back to our usual Friday slot with the last week of the NFL's regular season and the NCAA National Championship, not to mention a ton of college hoops. Quick note, before I get started, I'm asking children to earmuff it, or as Doc Holliday said in Tombstone, cover your ears, darling. Fuck Southwest Airlines and all who support them and continue to fly on their airlines going forward, okay? Rant over. Now, last week was an adventure again, but we managed a profit, and it's now been 5 straight winning weeks of profits. Good, solid profits. Last week was even better. Here are the numbers. Bowl sides last week, 9-6-1. 15-12-1 so far in all the bowls, 55.55%. Not great, but 9-6-1 last week helped. Bowl totals last week, 10-6, 19-9 overall, 67.86% in bowl totals so far. Yeah. All bowls combined overall, 61.82%. Yeah, solid. NFL last week, 9-7. What are you going to do? Still a winning week. For the season, 127 wins, 103 losses, 3 pushes, good for 54.67%. NCAA basketball, we didn't have any last week because of the finals and the craziness of the holiday going on during the weekend. So we didn't play any NCAA hoops, 63.85% on the season. Overall, total, every single pick that I've given you so far, over 600 picks so far, 388 wins, 268 losses, 9 pushes, good for 59.14%. We're already off to a start this week, as there was at least one bowl game every day this week. So looking back so far this week, we're 4-3 on both sides and 4-3 in totals as well, putting us at 8-6 to start the week, which ain't terrible. And that doesn't even count the Cheez-It Bowl, which is going on right now, or the Alamo Bowl tonight, in which we have Washington and the over. As a matter of fact, let's get a quick update. What is going on here? I'm losing my train of thought here. They're a commercial. Okay. I'll get you an update in a minute. So let's start this week right now. Tonight's games, we got 2 games tonight. Alamo Bowl tonight. The Cheez-It Bowl and then the Alamo Bowl. The Alamo Bowl is tonight. Take Washington and the over. Make that money. So let's start this week with bowl season beginning tomorrow at noon Eastern in Charlotte. Sorry, I'm battling a cold, and I'm sure the chew ain't going to help, so I might hack up a lung while I'm doing this, but caught a cold from my brother during the holidays. Thanks, JD. Noon Eastern in Charlotte, 23rd ranked North Carolina State. It's a 1-point favorite over 7-5 Maryland in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Both schools struggled down the stretch, and in a battle of former ACC foes, I like Maryland here to pull off the mild upset. The total set at 47, and while Maryland can score a lot or not, defense will be the story. So I like Maryland and the under. 2 Eastern tomorrow in El Paso, number 18 UCLA is a 4-point favorite over 8-4 Pittsburgh in the Sun Bowl. After a breakout year from UCLA under Chip Kelly, star quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is out of the bowl game, which makes me look at Pitt. The Panthers are healthy, and the Bruins' offense won't be able to light up Pitt's D. I said the line was 4. It's now gone all the way up to 7 in one day. The Sharps think they know something. I don't give a shit. 54 is the total. UCLA's defense is suspect, so I'll go with Pitt plus the points and the over. Tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern in Duval County, 21st ranked Notre Dame's a 2-point favorite over 19th ranked South Carolina in a battle of 8 and 4 schools in the Gator Bowl. It's a short trip for the Gamecocks from Columbia, and they finished the season strong, but Irish Nation always travels well. And as good as USC was this year, I still like the Irish here as a short favorite. 51.5 is the magic number, and I love Notre Dame's defense enough to keep this one under. That's the Irish and the under. At 4:30 Eastern tomorrow, we head to Tucson as 9 and 4 Ohio is a 1-point favorite over 7 and 5 Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl. The Cowboys dropped their last 2 games to finish second in the Mountain West Mountain Division, while the red-hot Bobcats were cooled off in the MAC title game by Toledo. But I like Ohio's offense to bounce back strong here against the suspect Wyoming defense. And with the low total of 43, I'm going to go with Ohio and the over in this spot. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, we have finally reached the Big Five Bowls, and the first one is an all-orange matchup of 7th-ranked Clemson as a 5.5-point favorite over 6th-ranked Tennessee, and ironically, the Orange Bowl down in Miami. Quarterbacks are the story here, as Vols quarterback Hendon Hooker's Heisman dreams were dashed when he was hurt last month, and Clemson has gone back and forth with 2 different quarterbacks all season. DJU transferred and is gone, so freshman quarterback Cade Klubnik gets a start. I have no faith in this Clemson offense, so I'll take the Vols, even with their shaky defense. And because of the quarterback question marks, I'll take the under, 63.5. Vols in the under. Gave you Oklahoma last week, plus 9. Well, they're up 11 in the second quarter. 14-3 OU, cruising right now. So, yeah. Vols and the under. 4 more bowl games, including the FBS playoffs, start on Saturday, New Year's Eve, and at noon Eastern, right here in Nashville, Iowa's a 2.5-point favorite over Kentucky in the Music City Bowl. Both schools ended up 7 and 5, and the total set at 31. Yes, I said 31, which is typical these days for a Kirk Ferentz coach team. I like the Wildcats here with the points, and yes, I like the over because, well, you kind of have to here. UK and the over. Also at noon Eastern, down in the Big Easy, 5th-ranked Alabama is a 6-point favorite over number 9 Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. While it may be odd seeing the Sugar Bowl played in the daytime, it's good. It's for good reason because the NCAA wants only the playoff games to be played without any competition. Wow. Bama lost twice this year to ranked teams on the final play of the game, while K-State got red hot down the stretch and won their last 4, including a win over playoff squad TCU in the Big 12 title game. Bama lost to LSU, and I just can't get past that. LSU's dog shit. Come on, we all know this. It's fact. Give me the Wildcats here with the points. Both teams can and will score, so along with K-State, I'll take the over 56. Hey, Seminoles got a first down. CFP game number 1 is at 4 Eastern on New Year's Eve in Glendale. Number 2 Michigan is a 7.5-point favorite over 3rd-ranked TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. The Wolverines are undefeated and my pick to win the national championship right now, while TCU was the team that everyone was waiting for to lose. Well, they lost and still wound up here behind Sonny Dykes' offense, led by quarterback Max Duggan, who's just been incredible. Every year there's at least one CFP game that is over by halftime, and this could be it. But with that hook at the end of the 7, I like TCU to slip through the back door and snatch the cover. Michigan wins, but TCU covers. With the total at 58.5, you have to take a Sonny Dykes offense to the over, right? Nope. I like TCU in the under because of how good Michigan's defense is. FSU's on the move. Damn, I'm dying here. I'm telling you, I think my brother tried to kill me while I was home for the holiday. Touchdown. Touchdown FSU. That'll make it 14-10 with the extra. In the nightcap of the CFP in Hottown, top-ranked Georgia as a home game in essence. That are a 6.5-point chalk against 4th-ranked Ohio State in the Peach Bowl with the total set at 62. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Both schools are built on defense. But while the Buckeyes offense get lots of kudos because they're ranked number 2 in the country, the Bulldogs don't. Yet they should. I'm all over Georgia here to get back to the championship game next week. And because of the tenacity of both defenses, I'm going to take Georgia and the under. 2 point. What are they going for 2 points in the second quarter? I mean, it's good for me because I got the over and they got it. So it's 14-11 now. Georgia and the under. Georgia and the under in game 2 of the CFP. Skipping NFL Sunday and moving on to Monday. We've still got 4 more bowl games to close out bowl season before next week's national title. So we'll start Monday at noon Eastern in Tampa's 22nd ranked Mississippi State is a short 1-point favorite over 8-4 Illinois in the ReliaQuest Bowl. The Illini had a shot at appearing in the Big Ten title game before stumbling late. And the story of Mississippi State going into this one is all about how they're going to deal with the loss of head coach Mike Leach 2 weeks ago. They decided to play, and I like them deciding to play. With a low total of 46, I'm still going to go under and lean on the defense of the Bulldogs. Hail State in the under. We miss you, Coach Leach. At 1 Eastern on Monday in Orlando, number 17 LSU is a 14.5-point favorite over 8-5 Purdue in the Florida Citrus Bowl. We've learned a lot this year about these two teams. Purdue earned their nickname as the Spoiler Makers only when they're a dog, and LSU is an overrated mess that allowed 88 points in their last 2 games, both losses. Freaking frauds. 56.5 is the total, so I'll take Purdue in the over. Also at 1 Eastern on Monday in Dallas, 10th-ranked USC is a 2-point favorite over 16th-ranked Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. Why is USC only a 2-point favorite? Well, it starts with the status of Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Caleb Williams. But even if he goes, he ain't healthy. Then you add their 2 23-year-old NFL-bound offensive linemen who opted out for the draft, and leading receiver Jordan Addison, last year's Biletnikoff winner. He did the same. Now you see why the dangerous Green Wave are only a 2-point dog. Doesn't matter. Give me SC minus the 2 and over 62. Finally, enjoy it while you can, because this will probably be the last time we get to see the Rose Bowl as a standalone game played during sunset under the San Gabriel Mountains, because next year the granddaddy of them all gets thrown into the rotation of the new CFP system. At 5 Eastern on Monday, 8th-ranked Utah is a 2.5-point favorite over 11th-ranked Penn State in Pasadena with the total set at 52.5. This should be a good one. Penn State is dangerous. Their only 2 losses this year were to Michigan and Ohio State, while they finished the season crushing everyone else and making us money because I was all over them the last 5 weeks of the season. The term resilience, though, however, should be plastered across the Utah football team, especially head coach Kyle Whittingham. While his counterpart James Franklin's certainly no slouch, I like Utah's toughness and both schools' offenses to light it up in Pasadena, Utah, and the over. So that's 13 more bowl games with totals for a total of 26 picks to go along with last week's 19 and 38, respectively. That's a ton of matchups, as there's only one game left, and that's next Monday night's National Championship game. Now it's time to move on to the NFL, and we'll start tonight right here in Music City, USA, at 8:15 Eastern as 11-4 Dallas comes to town as a 6-point favorite over the 7-8 Titans. Cowboys are pretty much dead as far as winning the NFC East, so they're just trying to hold on to the top wild card spot, and question of how much they're going to put out there looms. On the other side, the same can be said about Tennessee, who've lost 5 straight, know that tonight's game means nothing to them as they prepare for next week's win and advance matchup in Jacksonville. Tannehill's out. King Henry has 5 fumbles in his last 5 games, and he ain't playing tonight. Malik Willis, he's not playing either. Tennessee's playing Josh Dobbs. Nope, give me Dallas. Moving to Sunday at 1 Eastern at the Georgia Dome. The 5-10 Falcons are a 3-point favorite over 4-11 Arizona in a battle of why the hell am I watching this crap? Got to take someone? I'll take the Falcons because it's in Hot Town, and that's the only reason. At 1 Eastern on Sunday in Detroit, the 7 and 8 Lions are a big 6.5 point favorite over the 3 and 12 Bears in a matchup that we wouldn't care about if the Lions weren't battling for a wild card spot. Lions win, Bears cover. Too big of a number. 1 Eastern in Kansas City, the 12 and 3 Chiefs are a 10 point favorite over the 4-11 Broncos, who just fired their head coach amid the NFL's worst offense and a quarterback that's on the hook for $300 million in the near future. Yeah, I know it's brutal to take the Chiefs, laying that many points. They always seem to let somebody slide through the back door. I don't give a shit. Give me the Chefs. Also at 1 Eastern in Foxborough, 7 and 8 New England is now a 3 point favorite over 8 and 7 Miami after the news broke that Tua Tagovailoa is back on concussion protocol. Give me Miami anyway, because Teddy Two Gloves steps in. He doesn't win, but he sure covers a lot. I'll take him as a road dog. 1 Eastern on New Year's Day in Snoopyville, the 8-6-1 Giants are a 3 point favorite over 4-10-1 Indianapolis. Indy's a disaster, and even though they've got extra rest, I still like Jersey here at home as a short favorite. Also at 1 Eastern on Sunday at the Link, 13 and 2 Eagles are a 5.5 point home chalk over 6 and 9 New Orleans in Stoniecast. Philadelphia is just hanging on and needs to win one of its remaining 2 games to secure home field throughout while Jalen Hurts rehabs. The Saints still can win the NFC South and don't play well outside of the Big Easy. So Philly wins this one, but the Saints still hover long enough to get the cover. Turnover. I think Florida State just recovered they did. They recovered a fumble. At 1 Eastern in Tampa, the 7 and 8 Bucks are a huge 7 point favorite over the 6 and 9 Panthers. Carolina's in the driver's seat and controls their own destiny to win the NFC South, but so does Tampa. The Bucks win this one easily, but a whole touchdown? Nope. Carolina's defense is too good to allow Tampa to score that much. I'll take the Panthers. Also at 1 Eastern in our nation's capital, the 7-7-1 Commando Skins are a short 2 point favorite over the 6 and 9 Brownies. The Browns have shown promise, but so has Washington. With the Commando Skins going back to Carson Wentz in favor of Taylor Heineke, they haven't figured out what the hell they want. I like Washington even more, but this is the type of game that the Browns always seem to steal. Give me the Browns catching the number on the road. The last 1 o'clock Eastern start on New Year's Day is in H-Town, as the 7 and 8 Jaguars come in as 6 point road chalk against the 2 and 12-1 Texans. The Jags win this one, even though they don't need it because all they're worried about is next week's showdown with the Titans. But the Texans, who played well lately, they're going to slide through the back door and get the cover like they always do. At 4 Eastern, in America's Playground, the red-hot 11-4 49ers come in as a 10 point favorite over the host 6 and 9 Raiders. Las Vegas just decided yesterday to bench Derek Carr and go with Jarrett Stidham, who's just bad, in order to save money on Carr's contract before they can deal him at season's end. What the hell's going on in Las Vegas? Jesus. The Niners are hot, and this line jumped from 4.5 to 10 after the news broke of the Raiders' quarterback situation. Niners defense might actually commit murder on the field with Stidham. I'll take the Niners. At 4 Eastern in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle is a 1 point favorite over the New Jersey Jets in a battle of 7-8-1 teams, both futilely holding on to dreams of a playoff berth. Neither team's going to make it, but I love the way Seattle runs the ball more than I like Mike White. Give me the Sea Chickens. At 4:25 Eastern at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, the 7 and 8 Packers are a short 2.5 point favorite over the 12 and 3 Vikings. The most fortunate team in NFL history as far as one possession victors go. Minnie is in a great spot to bury the Pack once and for all so they don't have to meet in the playoffs. The Pack is red hot, and everyone is back to knobbing all over Aaron Rodgers again. That ends Sunday. Minnesota wins outright. 4:25 Eastern in Inglewood. Always up to no good. The Rams and Chargers meet in the Battle of La La Land, with the Chargers an 8.5 point favorite. There's a reason for that. The Chargers are finally healthy, and Justin Herbert is playing like superstar. But if there's one thing we've learned this season, it's that the Chargers are not a good team when favored. Chargers win, but Rams cover. On Sunday night at 8:20 Eastern in Baltimore, the 10-5 Ravens are now a 3-point favorite over the 7-8 Steelers. Pittsburgh has played themselves into playoff position, though they won't get there after they lose this one. They do have that it factor, though, to catch the back door. And now that we know that Lamar is not going to start for the Ravens, that line moved from 6 all the way down to 3. Here's some stats for you. Since Harbaugh took over in Baltimore in 2008, the dog in this game is 21-8-1. The dog of 3 points or more in this game is 17-1. Chew on that, Steelers. Finally, on Monday night at 8:30 Eastern in the Queen City, the matchup of the week, possibly the season, has the Bills as a 1.5-point road chalk against the 11-4 Bengals. As good as Buffalo and Kansas City think they are, Cincy's just flat out better right now. And I got a stat for that ass. The Bengals are 20-3 in their last 23 games against the number. That's just unprecedented. Shit like that doesn't happen. Stay with the hot hand. Take the Bungles on the money line. Finally, we move on to college hoops, y'all, after last week's buys, so to speak. So we're going to go rapid fire and drop some games on you for tonight. As far as tomorrow and Saturday go, again, for the last time this season, make sure to tune in tomorrow and Saturday morning and read the comments section, where I'll have a ton of games for you to play with. In the meantime, here we go for tonight. 6:30 Eastern, take Butler -3 versus Providence. 7 Eastern, take Central Michigan plus 21.5 versus Michigan. 7 Eastern, take Iowa -4.5 over Nebraska. 7 Eastern, take Rice plus 6.5 over Western Kentucky. 8 Eastern, take DePaul -4.5 over Georgetown. 8 Eastern, take Southern Illinois plus 1.5 over Murray State. Salukis. 9 Eastern, take Cincinnati -4.5 versus Tulane. 9 Eastern, take Pacific plus 6.5 versus BYU. 10 Eastern, take Utah -10.5 versus Cal. 10 Eastern, take USF, San Francisco, plus 2.5 versus Santa Clara. 11 Eastern, take Stanford, -2.5 versus Colorado. And finally, at midnight Eastern tonight, take Hawaii -6.5 versus UC Davis. That's all 16 NFL plays for the week and 13 more bowl games with totals. So that's 42 plays right there before college hoops, which I just gave you 12 more for a total of 55 before the next 2 days of college hoops. There's a possibility we're going to hit 80 picks this week. Remember that all these selections are 100% free. So you got to take advantage now. And while lately we've been hitting in the mid-50s right up until last week, that ain't going to last. Back to the 60s we go now. So now's the time to go big. Hit them early and hit them hard. And just remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. You can't go broke taking a profit. I'm proof positive of that. Scared money don't make money. For me, the action is the juice. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Happy New Year, everyone.